Date December 5, 1989, Dresden. That night, when the Berlin Wall fell, the Germans were celebrating the big holiday. More than 5,000 people raided the East German Ministry of Security building, known as the Stasi, and surrounding buildings. They took everything, the archives, even the names of spies. All the buildings were looted. There was a KGB building behind the wall. The colonel was in charge of the building. After seeing the crowd, he got scared and left the building. The second senior officer was a young lieutenant colonel. The crowd wanted to enter the KGB building as they entered all the buildings. They wanted to raid the building and take over the archives. The young commander was aware of that. They weren't far away in Soviet military units. The commander called the unit for help, and the answer is,
"Commander, I cannot send the troops to protect you because the aid order has not come from Moscow, and Moscow is silent now."
The commander was desperate. About 5,000 people broke through the door and entered the garden of the KGB building. The commander took his gun and went out of the building, and he called out to the crowd,
"Calm down."
The crowd said, "Who are you?" The commander said,
"I'm the translator."
The commander was alone. The crowd stood before the commander, looking at the young commander. "Commander."
"As you know, the fall of the Berlin Wall is a good thing for our country. We're protecting this building. This is the property of the Soviet Union. This building is property of another country. We are on duty and we are doing our duty."
8 officers were waiting to fire at the windows with their weapons. In the meantime, the commander was waiting in an attack position with a gun. The crowd was furious and everyone was screaming. Commander again said,
"As you know, I am an officer and I have 12 bullets. I'll keep my last bullet to myself, but I will use the others to defend the building for my mission. There is no other way. It's my mission to protect this building."
The crowd suddenly became silent. After he said all that, he was walking up the stairs to the building, sweating and his shirt stuck to his body. What he was waiting for was someone throwing rocks or bottles at him. It was quite slow, and when it reached the top of the stairs, the crowd began to disperse as it turned around back. That night and the day after that, no German ever entered the KGB building. They didn't show any indication that they were going to loot the documents and the archive. That young commander was Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. He was born in St. Petersburg, Leningrad, in the SSCB era on October 7, 1952. Putin, who had a difficult childhood financially, it is said in official records that the Second World War veteran, a submarine soldier in the SSCB Navy, Vladimir Spiridonovich Putin, and she was born the child of the factory worker Maria Ivanovna Shelomova, who lost her first 2 children. But according to a rumor from very limited sources, her true mother, who was alleged, lives in Georgia, Vera Putina. According to Vera Putina, Putin is an illegitimate child. Putin does not accept his real mother. No one can enter the village where his real mother lives. Russian journalist Artyom Borovik is one of the few journalists investigating this issue, but the room has disappeared. Putin's real biography is being hidden. Putin was no stranger to the palace. His grandfather Spiridon Ivanovich Putin was the cook of Vladimir Lenin, founder of the SSCB. Putin married Ludmila Putina on July 28, 1983, and lived in East Germany between 1985 and 1990. Maria Putina was born in Leningrad on April 28, 1985, and has daughters named Yekaterina Putina, born in Dresden, East Germany on August 31, 1986. In April 2008, Moskovsky correspondent reported that Putin divorced Shkrebneva and was engaged to rhythmic gymnast Alina Kabeva. The news was rejected and the newspaper was closed shortly after. Putin and Shkrebneva, while his relationship with Kabeva was a matter of speculation, he continued to appear publicly together as a wife. Putin and his wife, Ludmila Putina, were divorced on June 6, 2013, with a reciprocal divorce. Putin, known for his devotion to dogs, was given a shepherd puppy by Bulgarian Prime Minister Boyko Borisov.
Трябва да е гладно със сигурност. Трябва име да дадете. Добре. Спасибо.
Putin has a black belt. He's been interested in judo since he was young. In an interview with Putin said,
I wanted to be a spy when I was in high school. I went to the KGB's office in our district and told them what I wanted. The officer in charge said, they don't accept anyone who wants to work here, and they need to graduate from college. Insists, which faculty, and when I ask, law, did you get your answer now, and he threw me out. From that day on, I started getting ready for law school. I was not aware of Stalin's policies of violence, repression and exile in 1930 when I entered the KGB. I was under the influence of spy films and novels.
Putin, who graduated from the law department of Leningrad State University in 1975. He did his master's degree in economics. After graduation, Putin started working in the KGB from 1975. He served in Germany for a while and resigned from the KGB after the Eastern Bloc collapsed. In 1990, he worked as a consultant at the Leningrad City Council, and between 1991 to 1992, he served as deputy mayor and chairman of the Council of Municipal Foreign Relations Committee. After returning to Leningrad, he also served under the administration of the university. He prepared a thesis called The Most Favored Nation Trading Principle in International Law. He had to attend the Soviet Union Communist Party while he was here, and he became a member until the party was closed in August 1991. By 1996, Putin took various positions in the administration of St. Petersburg. In 1996, the Kremlin Palace was appointed vice president of the property administration, and he continued his mission until 1997. In 1997 and 1998, he made it as president of the presidency and head of the presidency of the supervisory administration. In 1998 to 1999, Putin headed the Russian Federal Security Service and served as secretary of the Russian Security Council. Putin served as deputy prime minister on August 9 to 16, 1999. After August 16, he began serving as prime minister. After President Boris Yeltsin resigned on December 31, 1999. Under the constitution, he was head of state in 3 months until the presidential election was held. Putin served as president of Russia between 2000 to 2008. In the 2000 elections, Putin was elected president in front of Gennady Zyuganov, president of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation, with a 52.9 yes vote, while Zyuganov was second with a 29.2 yes vote.
Клянусь, при осуществлении полномочий президента Российской Федерации.
In the 2004 elections, more than 71 yes were voted as head of state again. On May 7, 2008, his mandate expired, leaving his place for the new head of state, Dmitry Medvedev, and became the Prime Minister of Russia. During its period, the Russian economy caught rapid growth figures, took crucial steps toward its independence, strengthened central authority, and reformed the armed forces. In addition, he was elected president for the third time with 63.6% USD of the Russian Federation as a result of the March 4, 2012 elections. March 18, 2018, with 76%. He was elected president for the fourth time in the Russian Federation, and won Russian presidential elections. Vladimir Putin will continue his fourth mission until 2024. Putin would not be able to rerun for president because of the article in the constitution, which included, the president of the state who has served twice in a row cannot run for a third time. Under a 6-day referendum process for constitutional amendment, which paves the way for Vladimir Putin to remain in office until 2036, Putin's former mandate has been reset and the obstacle to rerunning has been eliminated. He is currently serving as President of Russia. Putin, accused of redominating former Soviet republics in international politics, is in fact trying to dominate eastern Ukraine, which is known as the historic Old Russia, where only the Russians live extensively. He said it was to ensure the safety of the Russians in these heavily populated areas of the Russian population. Thank you for watching me. Please subscribe and like the video.